So, let's sim to the start of the regular season, because I know a lot of you guys have been looking at those rankings to be like, hey, speed, but give it a second. No, we're actually faster. At least we can run as far away from wins as we can possibly go. Hazy, it just doesn't generate enough players for the Japan run to work. The top prospects list, Jackson Chourio is number... Oh my god, Russell Senzel. So Russell Senzel is the number 2 prospect in baseball, but look at that. Gilberto Coronado, the number 3 prospect in baseball after being drafted. And given we weren't going to take a closer in the, the first overall pick, that's certainly not that bad. Do we have any other representation? We might. But we do have the number 3 prospect in baseball. Coco, we're doing all right. We had to abandon the Japan run, but we've started a new challenge and we're off to a good start. Am I going to adjust the training? That's one thing I don't normally do, but it might make sense this time. We have no other top prospects, unfortunately, but we do have the number 3. Normally, I'm pretty hands-off with training. Where did Reynolds go? I can check. I can check where Reynolds and Cruz went. Give me a second. They're still technically with us because we didn't sim to the calendar. We quick sim, so they're still technically with us for a moment. We'll probably find out very soon. Yeah, training-wise is normally on automatic. But, so I'm intrigued. Like, for Coronado, that includes clutch. Like, for the most part, my understanding is it will just train up what they need the most. Although combination toss, that upgrades Delgado's arm. And maybe we should be a little bit more hands-on with this. So, for Coronado, there's no doubt, pitching clutch is his worst attribute. Hits per 9 and the per 9s really do need to go up. Simulated game would get that pitching clutch up. Again, pitching clutch is important. It replaces your hits per 9 when you have a runner in scoring position, so it is important to train that up. Honestly, that can be his current training for a little bit until we can see if we can really get that up there. Bobby Tom Brady. It is focused primarily on his per 9s. That's fine. We'll go ahead and assign that ourselves. Delgado. His per 9s as well need the most work. Fernando Flores, that shortstop. He needs everything, doesn't he? He needs everything. Given that if we could make him like a defense-first shortstop, that would certainly help. Let's have him work on his fielding. And then Clarkson, we don't care about. Yeah, the rest of these guys we don't have to care about, if I'm not mistaken. No, we do have to care about DaCosta. Never mind. So what's up with DaCosta? Those K per 9s, man. He's got to work on that big time. All right, as far as I know, we're now okay. We sort by potential. Coronado. We set up Bobby Tom. Oh, God, a lot of these guys do have B potentials, though. I think we're still okay. I think we are. In terms of how we set up training. Miranda. Oh, shit, you're right. We did forget about Miranda. Damn it. All right, well, if we're going to be a bit more hands-on with the training, which I don't know if we will be full-time, I do need to write down who we end up selecting, so we make sure that we do not lose track of anybody. Okay, as far as I'm aware, we did not miss a starter. We do have relievers Miranda and Hidalgo, and then that shortstop, Flores. If I missed anybody, let me know. But I'm pretty sure those were our guys. Pretty sure. So starters, Coronado, Brady, Delgado, DaCosta, we're good. Miranda and Hidalgo. So the worst thing right now for Miranda is still the per nines. And then Hidalgo, same thing. Let's work on the per nines. And then we had Flores. All right, so we should be good. So the big question, the draft picks, and also how many wins. I am going to set the over-under at 25.5 that you guys can make your predictions on. And who knows, maybe that's too high, maybe it's too low. Time will tell. Let's see what we're looking like scouting-wise. $12 million in bonus money. We have the 7th overall pick. The 7th overall pick. And again, we're not looking for anything specific yet. We just need best available. So we are going to take a look at MLB rank and look at all of these top options to start off and just take it from there. So closer, first, and second will be the focus. The next little bit, and we'll see. Oh, hey, we won a game. We did beat Washington. Let it be known. All right, so our scouts do like Eric Williams a lot. We don't have him 100% scouted. That's a tough one. That's a tough one right there. Do we want 100% scouted? Or is 85 good enough? Honestly, I'm going to say like 85, 75 is good enough. But we are going to keep Eric Williams in there to get more info. So there's Ken Watts as a closer. There's also Boyce Dolan as a starter. Shout out to Boyce Dolan. All right. Speed Arizona. Apparently we can only win on a Wednesday. Apparently. Our scouts, wow, it's taking forever to scout out Eric Williams, but our scouts really do like him. They love Ken Watts. Absolutely love him. They don't really like Boyce Dolan. His potential is pretty much guaranteed to be a B. Yeah, I can see why they don't like him so much. But yeah, they love Ken Watts. Do we play 25 games on a Wednesday? You better hope. Kenny Ames as a closer. And Dwayne Stanley as a starter. We got to keep looking at these top dogs because we never know who might fall to us at 7. Oh my God, we won on a Monday and on a Saturday. Nighthawk, what's up? It's all good. Hope you're doing good. Whew! Well, we didn't take the first baseman last year. I don't know if we'll be in a position to take him this year either. But man, if Eric Williams falls to 7th, you never know with this game. God damn. Oh, man. Lefties. He is just going to destroy lefties for his entire career. God damn. All right. Well, we certainly got someone to keep an eye out on. Thomas Beard, baseball fan, 56 months on the primer. Thank you very much for that, sir. Appreciate you. Closer, starter, center field. Closer, starter, center field. Ah, we didn't win the game all week. We're 4-24. Okay, Thomas Beard, not looking great. Yeah, Hoff and... Oh, you know why it's taken forever to scout that? It must be that guy's efficiency. The low scout in terms of efficiency. It must be him. Sean Tabarn. Sean Tabarn. Again, we're going to look at these guys too, because it might help us in the second round. We still got about 2 months until the draft. Still stuck on 4 wins. All right, our scouts really like Juan Rodriguez as a closer, and they're really starting to like Marlon Hoff. I need to get rid of that scout. I need to. That efficiency at a 55 is awful. Even this guy, Hitoki Riddle. He's a little bit more well-rounded. Like, I got to get that scout out of there. He's brutal. He is brutal. So let's see. Let's get Hoff back in there. Sean Tabarn and Juan Batista. So center, reliever, shortstop will be the focus for the week. Let's see. Oh boy, hey, we beat Baltimore on a Saturday. 5 wins. 20 to go. Marlon Hoff. Our scouts really, really like Marlon Hoff. Okay. And given that he's projected 9th, you never know. You never know. Elvis Medrano as a reliever. And Jude DeWitt. I mean, really, it's Jude DeWitt, but Jude DeWitt. Shortstop, reliever, catcher. Fucking Jude DeWitt. That's amazing. That's an all-timer. Wow, we just we just keep losing games. All right. Juan Batista is one hell of a bust, if you ask our scouts. The other two we can keep looking at. Let's see. Billy Kemp as the first baseman. Let's look at Billy Kemp. 48 days out from the draft. There's never enough time, I swear. All right, Medrano's looking good, but obviously we don't take him that early. Jude's looking okay. Jude DeWitt's looking okay. Is there anybody that our scouts think should be way the hell up there that we haven't looked at yet? They really like third baseman Enrique Alicio. But it's all due to our projected in the first round. So let's go back to MLB rank. Let's look at Richie Leggett. And let's look at Carmen Velasquez. That'll be the plan for the week as we are about a month away from the draft. This team has won 7 games. Not a fan of Billy Kemp. We don't know enough about Leggett or Velasquez yet. And again, obviously, once we get that close, yeah, Max, I'm glad it's not. I'm glad it's not. We waved the white flag. Jackie Bulger. Bulger? I'm going to go with Bulger. We saw the light, Max. We saw the light. It is a draft of glory with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I've had one draft of 2 discovered 99 prospects. Damn. We don't have time, though, is the issue. Like, when we get to the point that it's like, okay, we need a second baseman, we need a shortstop, then I can focus more on discovery to go all out. Until that point, though, it's a little bit rough. Until that point, it's a little bit dangerous. I mean, hey, it is a possibility. I just don't want to do that right now. All right, there's Jay Gatlin. We still have quite a few of these guys we haven't even seen yet. We still have a lot of guys we haven't even seen yet. We got a 95 and a 94 efficiency, though. You'd think our scouts would be a little bit better. Let's look at Jay Gatlin. 27 days out from this draft. 9 and 62. Oof. Carmen Velasquez not looking great. Bulger's looking all right. Gatlin. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think we need to scout out Gatlin anymore. 50% is going to be good for now, given we don't have that much time left. And if it doesn't move them way up the board, in terms of like, oh yeah, our scout's like, yeah, keep looking at them, he could be amazing, then it's not really worth it for us right now. And I should have made that call a little bit sooner. Third center relief. Yeah, we got 2 weeks after this, and we're going to have to look at the top of the board again to know for sure. So, like, it did move up Boone White as a center fielder. So, in terms of team rank, our scouts are saying for sure Eric Williams, Marlon Hoff, Ken Watts. Like, these are the guys. Then there were guys like Morales, Dwayne Stanley. that could be worth taking a look at from there. Our scouts also really like Leandro Mendoza, and I don't know why. I don't know if we need these other guys on 100%. I don't think we do. Let's go back to MLB rank, try to get a little bit more depth for the draft. So Chris Martins as a reliever, and Ricky Walters. So center, reliever, closer will be the goal as we are closing in on our final day in terms of setting up scouting. I need more and full info on Boone White. 100%. We need more info on Boone White. And in terms of MLB rank, we could get a little bit more info on like Rivera or Mendoza, who our scouts really like, but I don't think those are going to be factors for us. So actually, against previous judgment, I want to know more about Dwayne Stanley. Actually, Lou Morales, it really does like as a good defensive second baseman. Stanley's apparently a future fireballer, but maybe doesn't have that much else going for him. It still really likes Mendoza. Let's find out more about Luis Morales. Ooh, Marlon Hoff. He's not looking that good. He's not. I don't like that at all. Like, his best attribute is speed. I don't like that at all. At least with Eric Williams, you know he's going to rake against lefties. Ken Watts. I get he's a closer, but man, if our other players are off the board, I think we take him 7th. Great velocity, great break. He looks like he could be the real deal. There's Rodriguez as well. There's a couple of good closers. I don't really like taking a closer that early. Jesus, even Austin Fielder. Let's get 100% info on Austin Fielder. Center, second, closer. That'll be our final bit. This is going to be another interesting draft here, knowing that we have to deliver in the early stages to set the course. So Andreas Munoz gets traded to the Marlins for Dylan Floro and Jacob Berry. The 2024 draft. Now, and actually I'm going to move the webcam back over here. Eric Williams is the second projected player. Our scouts like him for number 1. I can believe it. I can believe that. Again, he is going to rake against lefties. Absolutely rake. He's on the list. Marlon Hoff. Our scouts think he's the second best guy in the draft. I got to be honest, I don't see it. Off of those attributes, he's going to be fast, but that's it. He's not going to be great at anything else. So I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I don't trust our draft rank based off of those attributes. There's Ken Watts, who looks pretty damn good. Watts does look pretty damn good, especially that potential range at 21 years old. He's on our short list. Boone White is not. He is a defense-first outfielder who is fast. His arm strength sucks. If he had a little bit more of an arm, I could forgive the lack of hitting. But man, if he doesn't get to that ball, he's not gunning anybody out from center, you know? I agree his power versus lefty does look decent, but that's it. Again, the lack of arm ruins it for me. Closer Juan Rodriguez. Tough not to like that. Promising future velocity break. I don't think we'd take him early, though. There's starting pitcher Dwayne Stanley. I don't really like him for 7th overall. Good break. Look at those per 9s. Look at those per 9s. So Connor, I will warn you, we are using the Bucks. You know, even though I'm a Red Sox fan, I have a soft spot for Pittsburgh. However, we're not doing a traditional franchise mode. This is a run where we only build through the drafts. Pretty much all the players that you start with that actually have hope and promise, we just let them go. We don't sign free agents. We don't trade. We only build through the draft. So it's not a traditional Pirates run. But the goal is to have them win. I don't like Dwayne Stanley for 7th overall. Elvis Medrano as a reliever. We could look at him in the 2nd round. He's not 7th overall worthy. Absolutely not. Richie Leggett as a starter. Again, 7th overall. I'm not digging it. If we could get him later, cool. It's been paying for 18 years. Exactly. What's 10 more? That's what we were saying. But yeah, so Richie, I don't like it 7th. Kenny Ames as a closer. Nah. Strikeouts and velocity is it. The other per 9s are a bit too rough. We don't know anything about Mendoza. We know a little bit about Ricky Walters. I don't trust that, obviously, to take him 7th as a closer. Then there is the catcher, Jude DeWitt, who sucks. Good contact and everything in the future, but man, his fielding is abysmal. Sorry, Jude, but that's not going to happen. Morales. Again, Morales as a second baseman. I don't dislike him. It looks like he'll have the contact, the vision. It looks like he'll have good fielding. I just don't think we can take that guy 7th overall, you know? He's a 2nd round pick. That's a pretty big risk. That'd be a pretty big risk for 7th overall. And it drops off from there. Thomas Beard. Thomas Beard. If all of our other options are gone, Thomas Beard actually looks pretty good. Even if that potential's a bit shaky, but he's only 85% scouted. Boyce Dolan. Looks okay. Looks okay. I'd prefer not to take him 7th, but he looks all right too. And then Austin Fielder was the #1 projected player. Our scouts don't like him that much, but man, looking at those attributes, he might be worth the risk. He might be. What about Chris Martins? Again, only 55%. Okay. And then Sean Tabarn as a reliever might be worth it later, but merely, not really. Okay. We'll see who's on this list still. When our pick comes around, the name that we hope are still there, or hopes. Eric Williams, Ken Watts. But really, it's Eric Williams. Hope and pray that somehow Eric Williams falls to us at 7th. Colorado, Oakland, Miami. Kick us off. I presume we're going to see Williams immediately. Immediately. Colorado with the #1 overall choice selects second baseman Luis Morales. Okay. So I said maybe with the 7th pick I'd take him, and they said, nope, he's our guy. Wow. One down. Second overall, it's Oakland. Or it was Miami, but I think it was Oakland. It is indeed Oakland. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oakland selects Boyce Dolan. Starting pitcher, Boyce Dolan. 2 down. 4 to go. And third overall, the Miami Marlins Select. Yeah, there he is. Eric Williams. Well, he dropped. If we had had a top 3 pick, we would have gotten him. Eric Williams goes 3rd overall to Miami. I have no idea who we're taking 7th now. I mean, presumably one of these guys, but man, did we take a closer that early? We do have a competitive balance pick, by the way. Wow. Yeah, so we're going to be okay here. 4th overall, Kansas City selects Marlon Hoff. And that is one of the guys that we're really looking at to be like, okay, how wrong are our scouts? Because it looks like they totally got it wrong. Elton Gerber. Wow, what a reach from Washington. They took starting pitcher Elton Gerber. And Enrique Rivera at shortstop is selected 6th. So everybody that we were still looking at, potentially taking 7th, they're still available. There are 3 closers and a starting pitcher. Thomas Beard looks pretty damn promising. He does. But then there's the closers. Austin Fielder was projected 1st. Our scouts don't like him at 1st. That potential range is a little bit scary. But man, his attributes look like they could be amazing. So what's the deal with him dropping to 20th? There's Juan Rodriguez, who in some ways also looks pretty damn good. Our scouts think he's top 5 worthy. And again, the attributes don't look that bad, but then there is Ken Watts. The 21-year-old, 85 to 95 potential. I mean, he is apparently the most sure thing that we have left in this draft that we know of. It's going to be a fireballer for sure. I think it's got to be Ken Watts. Again, I don't like to take a closer at this stage of the draft. But based off of what we knew, I mean, again, Boone White, those attributes sucked. And that's what we did. We went ahead and checked through all of these guys. And it's up to some of the dudes that we know a little bit less about. Like Martins is just a big of a risk. I think we got to go for Ken Watts. In terms of position player, there is Billy Kemp, but that'd be a huge risk. That would be a huge risk with his listed potential. There's Gatlin, there's third baseman Enrique Alicio. Oh my God, no thank you. Richard McGowan as a reliever, but only 50% scouted. I think it's got to be Ken Watts. Not that I thought we'd take a reliever this early, but man, we have no guarantees he'd be available for us in round 2. Think about how the last year went. The Venezuelan Ken Watts is our pick at 7th overall. Kind of just how the dominoes fell for us. That's not what I was hoping for, but I think all we could do is just go with the best option available, and he looks to have been that. The Boston Red Sox at 8 take the starting pitcher, Dwayne Stanley, who again, I didn't mind what he was looking like, but at the same time, those per 9s. And we took a lot of starters last year. Ken Watts could be an injury risk. An injury risk right now is average. We don't know about the exam. Thomas Beard goes 9th to St. Louis. And Boone White, the center fielder, goes 10th to Cincinnati. You got Juan Bautista, the shortstop, off the board. Our scouts hate him. Absolutely hate him. See if Baltimore's are more on the money. Billy Kemp off the board. 12th overall to San Francisco. They either just got a great player or they blew it. No in between. I'm going to go with Opulent. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. 13th, Henry Acevedo, starting pitcher who was way down the board. Chicago takes 13th. Enrique Alicio, the third baseman, goes 14th to the Diamondbacks. Jude DeWitt. Mr. DeWitt on his way to Chicago. 15th overall. You have Cleveland taking shortstop Enrique Gallegos. It's projected 33rd. Tampa at 17 takes first baseman Juan Burgos, who was projected 54th. Again, a lot of these guys would be best guess for us down the line. Right fielder Sam Nicholson goes 18th to Seattle. A little bit of a reach. You got Houston at 19. They take Richie Leggett, the starter. We were looking at him too. Didn't feel comfortable taking him 7th. But Richie's off the board to Houston. Have they just gotten a steal? Philly goes way off the board for starting pitcher Jose Amoros. That's a hell of a pick. Jackie Bulger, starting pitcher, goes to the Mets with the 21st pick. Got the Blue Jays taking starting pitcher Leandro Mendoza. The AI loved him. We never got a chance to scout him, though. So I'm intrigued to see if he's actually good. Were our scouts right? Third baseman Drew Cox goes 23rd. He'll play with Shohei Ohtani at some point. Oh, God. Oh, sweet. A follow bot. Hell yeah. That's what I need. Been a partnered streamer for 5 years, but give me some followers for money. Yeah. You got Guillermo Jimenez, starting pitcher, 34th projected, and God. Well, looks like we're going to be interested in Texas for a second year in a row as they take left fielder Manny Baez, who was projected 127th. That is one of the biggest reaches we have ever seen. As the Braves take center fielder Lawrence DeMille. Cesar Ortega, the catcher, goes to Milwaukee. Cameron beat you to it, Frank. Luis Aparicio, the second baseman, gets taken by the Yankees. The Angels at 29 take shortstop Ramon Becerra. And the world champion Dodgers took Steve Madison. So let's see. We still got 2 guys on the board here. Juan Rodriguez and Austin Fielder. Cleveland took Edgar Angeles. Baltimore takes reliever Dane Castellano. Come on now. Can we get one of these closers? There goes Juan Rodriguez. And I would have greatly preferred him. Colorado at 34 takes closer Kenny Ames, who was not on the board for us. I mean, he was, but he wasn't. Kansas City, will you really kind of screw things up for me? You won't. They take Amori Franco, the shortstop. So Austin Fielder, he was the number 1 projected player in this draft. Our own scouts said his draft rank should be lower. His potential, not looking great. But his attributes look fucking astonishing. So, man, if he was ever worth it, now would be the time. If it's not him, we go for the other reliever, Elvis Medrano, who's, again, his potential might be better, but his attributes, not so much. There's the other closer, Ricky Walters, but we only have him 50% scouted, so he's a bigger risk. There's another reliever in Martins, to Barn, Gatlin. I mean, it's a reliever no matter what. It's time to take him. It's time to take him. Austin Fielder was the number 1 projected player, and we're going to find out if our scouts got it a little bit wrong about him in regards to either potential or in regards to his attributes, but he's worth the risk. He was worth the risk for pick number 36. That does mean in round 2, we are going to be without a paddle because a lot of guys we were looking at just went. However, there are still some other relievers here that we do have information on, including Chris Martins, who is a risk, Sean Tabarn, Not as much of a risk, but I think we can say kind of comfortably, for him. And then we get into best guess territory. Then we get into best guess. Immediately with like second baseman Diego Gonzalez, we know nothing about him except the fact that he can't hit to save his life. Another reliever, Gary Kondo, but that's just pure risk. Ayala's presumed to have good contact, but again, another risk. I think for at least one more round, we focus on someone who we know something about. We're going to go for another reliever, Chris Martins. That is 3 relievers in this draft after taking, what, 1 last year or 2 last year, but a bunch of starters. It wasn't the plan, but we're carving out our pitching first. Let's go to, also, Bobby Lebowski. Great name. I was looking more for interesting names. Let's see who's available to us here in round number 3, because now we are without a paddle. There's Lou Stanley. I think at this point, unless they're amazing, we do not risk it on pitchers, and we look more for position players. Shout out to John McGraw. So there's catcher Darren McCauley, who, I mean, base report might at least have some fielding. So Armando Gil, a center fielder. Ace level report, not looking good. Icon, what's up? There is Cam Quezada as a starter. Doesn't look that bad, but again, I don't know if we'd take him. Casey Ramirez as a starter, who again doesn't look that bad. Juan Pena. Got David Berger as a... Man, there were just so many relievers. Armas and Cedeno look terrible. Reliever Art Lambert. Yeah, we are in... We are up shit creek without a paddle here, aren't we? Thomas Gaucho. Attribute-wise, can't trust it. Virgil Jameson. Might be a good fielding shortstop, but if this is to be believed on 5%, he can't hit worth a damn. I did see the next guy. Catcher Henry Cortez, who we know nothing about. Doesn't look that great either. There's starting pitcher Douglas Cortez. Let's avoid him. Freddie Vasquez. Looks well-rounded. All right. David Bravo. Could be a good fielding first catcher. All right. That first guy that was on the board was Darren McCauley, the catcher. Looks like he might be able to field, might be able to throw, might have decent power. Keep loading up on pitchers, yeah. Let's just take a risk on Darren McCauley to get a catcher into the system. Again, we're at best guess territory right now. Yeah, we'll just risk it. And then there's another catcher, David Bravo, who's still available. Everybody else went off the board, so hopefully we picked the right guy. Again, there was Gaucho and Wright. Let me look at... we already took a catcher. So there would have to be like a projected elite level catcher, and none of these guys are looking elite, right? First base. Ricky Peterson looks well-rounded, but we know nothing about him. He looks well-rounded. He just doesn't look like anything special. Kevin Jimenez, same thing. Jared Nunez, same thing. And obviously, again, I got to go pretty fast through this because the clock's ticking. Matt Morin, not looking anything special. Third base, Brian Flores. Not looking like he's anything great either. Oh, best guess territory. Louis Pelletier. Oh, Louis Pelletier, not looking that good either. Bernardo Carrillo. Like, somebody win me over. Steve Russo. Swerve, you're not very good. Left field. Roscoe Hammond. It's just nothing. Yeah, there's just nothing here. As far as we know. Jordan Ochoa. And then there was Thomas Gaucho. Honestly, Gaucho might be worth a shout just because who the hell else would we go for? Who the hell else? Sean Kidd? I do not feel as confident as I did last year in some of these later flying by the seat of our pants picks. There's JT Frederick. I mean, why do the pitchers always have to look so good? Why do the pitchers always have to look so good with low scouting? Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. All right, well, these are the dudes that are left. And the best looking options of the bunch are the pitchers. But we've already taken quite a few pitchers. Gaucho has the highest projection left. I mean, he just might be well-rounded. And Bravo might be a decent reliever. A lot of people shouting out Gaucho, which is interesting to me. I'm going to hope that Gaucho's available in that next round. Then again, Elliott's project. Okay, my hope, I'll take Gaucho. Please let James Elliott be available with that next pick. I'm very intrigued by him because of the break. Thomas Gaucho will be the pick. We'll hope for the best. Will Elliott be available? Yes. Immediate pick. We went 2 for 1 there. And round number 6. Okay. Well. Let's add Robbie Lemon to our board. Calderon. Jose Sanchez. Espinoza. Kevin Jimenez at first. There's Jared Nunez. Okay, out of this list, so there's reliever Robbie Lemon. I can find one good thing about him, and that's potential pitch velocity. Calderon at shortstop. I can find like one good thing about him, and that could be his arm accuracy and actually his speed. So Calderon's ahead. Jose Sanchez, I don't see a damn good thing about you. Sorry. Espinoza. Got nothing for you. Kevin Jimenez. Got nothing for you. And Jared Nunez, the pick is Marco Calderon. Even though I accidentally removed him there for a second. Marco, come on down. You're the guy. Just wishful thinking in round number 6. We get a hell of a lot of picks again. The question is, though, how did we do? Hopefully, better than our actual team is doing right now. You know, just a little bit.